Before we begin, I want you to pause for a moment and listen carefully. Perhaps God brought you here today for a reason. Maybe you clicked on this message by accident, or maybe someone shared it with you. But I believe someone listening to this needs to hear this. If you've been feeling left behind lately, if you've been watching other people succeed while you struggle, if you've been wondering why everyone else seems to be moving forward while your life feels stuck, then do not skip this message. There are people listening right now who smile in public but cry in private. There are people who look at social media and secretly wonder, God, what about me? You see others getting married. Your journey is not their journey. Your assignment is not their assignment. Your timing is not their timing. And your story is not finished. The Bible says in 2 Corinthians 10:12, when they measure themselves by themselves and compare themselves with themselves, they are not wise. Think about that for a moment. God is not saying comparison is merely unhelpful. He is saying it lacks wisdom, because comparison causes us to evaluate our lives using the wrong standard. You have been measuring your progress by someone else's timeline. You have been measuring your worth through someone else's success. And God is saying today, my child, stop comparing yourself to others. The Bible is filled with people whose journeys looked completely different. Joseph spent years in a prison before entering a palace. David was anointed king long before he ever sat on the throne. Moses spent 40 years in the wilderness before God used him to lead a nation. Imagine if Joseph had compared himself to the people around him while sitting in prison. Imagine if David had given up because others seemed to advance faster. Imagine if Moses had decided that his opportunity had passed. Their stories remind us that God's timing is often different from our expectations. I believe someone listening, some people would consider your life a miracle. Yet comparison convinces us that we have nothing because we are focused on what we lack rather than what we have. That is why gratitude is one of the greatest weapons against comparison. When you begin thanking God for what He has already done, comparison starts losing its power. When you remember how far God has brought you, comparison starts losing its voice.